Watermelon. In a small village, there lived a respected old monk known for his profound wisdom and great sense of humor. One day, a young man named Sam came to him, hoping to learn the secret to happiness and success. The monk smiled and gave him a simple challenge. Sam had to go to the market, choose the largest watermelon, carry it on his head, and walk through the entire village without dropping it. Though puzzled, Sam was determined to complete the task. At the bustling market, he found a massive watermelon, carefully lifted it and placed it on his head. The journey was far from easy. As Sam walked, the villagers laughed at the strange sight. Some cheered, others mocked, but Sam stayed focused. Eventually, he arrived with the watermelon still intact, confident that praise awaited him. Copying the text exactly as requested. But instead of applauding him, the monk laughed heartily and said, "You see, life is like carrying a watermelon. It's full of challenges and surprises. But if you face it with lightness and humor, you'll always find joy." These words made Sam realize that the secret to happiness isn't avoiding difficulties, but in how we choose to face them. The Watermelon Journey, a lesson in patience. Sam was curious about the monk's unusual challenge. Though he didn't understand its purpose, he decided to obey. At the crowded market, he walked around carefully and picked out the biggest, ripest watermelon he could find. He gently placed it on his head and began the journey. The challenge was harder than expected. At first, Sam walked slowly, trying to keep balance. People in the village couldn't help but laugh. Some clapped to encourage him, others made jokes, and a few even tried to distract him. Under so many eyes, Sam began to feel anxious. He feared being mocked or failing in front of everyone. But then, he reminded himself, just focus on your own steps. Don't worry about what others say. He pressed on, ignoring the noise. Gradually, he realized that once he stopped letting outside opinions affect him, everything became easier. Sam felt in control and started enjoying the journey. Finally, after a long and challenging walk, Sam arrived at the monk's place, with the watermelon still balanced on his head. His heart raced, but he felt proud. He believed the monk would praise his focus and persistence. Copying the text exactly as requested. Yet, what awaited Sam wasn't a compliment, but a far deeper lesson. The Watermelon Lesson, the key to happiness and success. When Sam finally completed the task, he felt relieved and proud. He was certain the monk would applaud his success. But instead, the old man burst into joyful laughter that filled the room. Sam was confused. Why was the monk laughing? Then the monk wiped his tears and explained, "Life is just like balancing that watermelon on your head, full of difficulty, hardship, and surprises. But if you face it with a light heart and a little humor, the journey becomes far more enjoyable." Sam stood in silence, slowly understanding the depth of his teacher's words. He remembered the journey. Instead of shame or tension, he had felt joy when the villagers laughed and cheered. That optimism helped him complete the task. The monk continued, "Life isn't always smooth. You will face challenges, failures, and even criticism. But if you keep an optimistic spirit and can laugh through the difficulties, you'll find happiness even in the hardest times." At that moment, Sam fully grasped the lesson. From then on, he chose to face all of life's obstacles with a lighter attitude, no longer taking everything too seriously. He realized that a sense of humor and optimism were the true keys to both happiness and success. Copying the text exactly as requested. Happiness in Life, a Watermelon Story. Life is full of challenges, but how we respond to those challenges is what truly matters. After his journey with the watermelon, Sam learned a valuable lesson. Happiness comes from facing hardship with optimism and humor. The monk smiled and told him, "Life isn't always smooth. There will be tough days, failures, and stress. But if you're always worried and take things too seriously, you'll miss the joy along the way." Sam thought back to the journey. When he first walked through the village, he feared being laughed at. But later, he realized that others' attention wasn't as important as his own attitude. Instead of shame or tension, he embraced the moment, joining in the laughter around him. The monk added, "If you can smile through small difficulties, you'll learn to face bigger challenges calmly. And whenever life feels heavy, recall a funny moment. It will give you strength." Sam nodded, full of gratitude. He realized that success wasn't just about achieving goals, but about enjoying the journey itself. From that day on, he lived with more optimism, no longer stressing over every obstacle. And whenever life tested him, he remembered the watermelon lesson. Life is an adventure to be enjoyed if we know how to smile along the way.